Welcome to my flight across the world, where I attempt to fly across cities, states, and nations. Now, it's been a bit of a running joke that I'm only really flying across my home state, but in today's episode, we fly elsewhere. Yes, we go beyond the great state of Michigan to a state bordering Michigan. In the last live stream, we successfully flew across northern Michigan into the Upper Peninsula, reaching the great city of Marquette. And in today's episode, where are we gonna go? I don't really know. You're just gonna have to watch to find out. What are we going to talk about today? Well, today we are going to be going over all of my notes. Are you ecstatic? I know I am. Yeah, that's all I really have to say during this intro because I live streamed this a couple weeks ago and I've just been a little lazy uploading it to the main channel. So you know what? You're just gonna have to watch if you wanna know exactly what I talk about. What an intro this has been. Enjoy. I could see this being problematic. This is an awfully short runway. How the hell am I gonna get off of here? Let's just zoom out. Hang on a moment. Yeah, this is better. Perfect, right there. Well, there's only one way to find out. What's the throttle button again? Let's head out here. That's the throttle button, okay. We're alright. I think I might kill whoever lives in that house, but I think it'll be fine, because I really don't have much room to take off here. This is where I attempted to land in the last one, except I didn't even manage to land it. Now taking off is... Whoa! Okay, we would be dead if this was real life, but the trees don't have any collisions, so that's good. Yeah, that was where I attempted... Oh, Jesus. Alright, pull up, you dumbass. This is... Oh, the game's awfully loud, isn't it? Let's turn that down ever so slightly. No, that's where I attempted to land last time, except I didn't manage it. So... probably explains why it was such a risky takeoff. So, what are we doing today? Well, if you've looked at the title, you wouldn't have a clue what we're doing today. Am I in the right plane? Yeah, I am. Because the title just says a noteworthy episode, except that is kind of hinting at what we're going to be doing, because I'm just going to be looking over the notes on my phone. Because I take a lot of notes. I say I take more notes than your average person does. I want to look over those. Because a lot of those notes I can kind of segue into different stories, and Bryce knows what else. Oh, shut up. It's alright. Don't need to bitch at me. Hang on. Yep. Alright. No worries. None whatsoever. I do need to remember at some point today to set up the thumbnail. Because last time I forgot to set up the thumbnail, so I was left in a bit of a screwy situation. Can we fix the trim on this? Because I am continually going up. Let's just... Yeah, that looks like good trim right there. This good trim? No. No, now I'm continually going down. What if we just center the trim right there? What's this gonna do? It's gonna pull me up. Gonna keep pulling me up. It's gonna bring me up too far. Okay. Down a bit more. Down a bit more than that. Alright, this is looking good. I like this. I like this. Focus on the nearest... No, I'm good. We don't need to be focusing on anything. Alright, what about... How does this look? Just down like a couple spots right there. I'm really trying to get this trim as good as possible. Because, you know, it's good when you don't actually have to pay attention to flying. It kind of flies for you. Look at that. Wow, this game. Yeah, that's good enough. Alright, oh, I'm icing up. I guess I'm a little high today. Let's head down to Marquette. Where am I going today, by the way? Where am I going? I'm gonna be heading up the peninsula, and I want to stop in Houghton and Hancock, because that's a really neat town. And then I'm thinking stop at the lake in the clouds, which is a big lake in the clouds. Then I'm gonna start heading south towards Chicago. I doubt I'll even get close to Chicago today. Might make it to Minneapolis though, except I don't really know where Minneapolis is, but I'll find it all right. No worries there. No, really, we'll be fine. Look at that. Surprised with all the ice on the plane, probably because it's kind of crummy weather. Incorrect altimeter settings. Press B. There we go. Hopefully I won't die this time. Quit bitching at me. There we go. Do we want to jump into it? No, we don't, because I want to talk about live streams and stuff. Yes. So, if you're watching the VOD, which you most likely are, and you ever want to join or interact with a stream, you can. I announce whenever I'm streaming at Voos200 on Twitter, and I stream Voos200_3 on Twitch. No, I just stream Voos200 on Twitch, not _3. Christ. I changed that, what, months ago, and I'm still used to saying Voos200_3. I think that just goes to show how much of autopilot I am. Actually, you want to see proper autopilot? Because I can show you. No, I'm not going to do that. Notes. All right, let's actually get into what I'm going to be doing today. All right, my very first note, or my most recently opened note, is something I'm not going to talk about. My next... No, I'm collecting data from something, but I can't go into what I'm collecting data for. It's a secret. My next note is a note titled Things to Say, which has a couple jokes or things from a couple quotes or TV shows that I want to remember to say at some point because they're somewhat funny. Not for YouTube, for like, you know, being social, in person, talking to people, normal people things. Next is a note titled Blackmail. I'm not going to get into that one. Next, schedule. Okay, actually something to do. So the idea of this note is that I'm not going to read it off. Yeah, nope, not reading that note off. I just realized why I'm not going to read off schedule. It's not my schedule. It's not what I do every day. It has a different theme, but for reasons I'm not going to get into, I'm not going to be reading that note off. What a fucking podcast this has been so far. I haven't even gotten into the bulk, and we're already through 4 of the notes. Next, bingo! Okay, this is one I can read off. So I sail. And obviously I'm part of my high school sailing team, alright? So I've been trying to construct a bingo board of the many things that happen in our sailing team. So our first bingo, I haven't finished this yet, by the way, but here's just a couple things I have in there. Jacob does something stupid. Me being Jacob, of course. I do a lot of stupid things because I'm a bit of a fucking idiot, especially when it comes to sailing, so that's going to be on there. There's 2 people who I'm not gonna name. I'll name one of them. One of the guy, what kind of nickname do I want to give him? We will call him Michael. Michael or Jimmy hit a mark. The reason I'm not changing Jimmy's name is because you can actually find Jimmy if you go on my channel page. He's one of the 2 or 3 channels I have linked that aren't mine. But Norton or Jimmy... Oh. You fucking idiot. Alright, his name's not Michael anymore. His name is Norton. Whoops, I'm sorry, Norton. I don't think Norton will ever find this, or anyone from my sailing team will find this. But it's fine. Norton or Jimmy hit a mark. Yeah, they have a habit of doing that. They don't do it during regattas, but they do it during practices. And just so you know, hitting marks is a big no-no. You don't want to be hitting marks. No one hits marks, but they manage to do it somehow. By the way, what direction am I heading in? I'm heading northwest. An interesting compass. Hang on, let me look at it from this way. Yeah, that makes more sense. But I'm heading a little far north. I guess because of the location it makes sense. Yeah, they hit marks a lot. They're both really good sailors. That's part of the issue, is they like to take risks and stuff like that. They also capsize a lot. Well, Norton doesn't. The only time Norton's capsized this season was my fault, but we won't talk about that. It's also the only time I've capsized. Jimmy's capsized twice, though. Also, he says they weren't his fault, but I won't take his word for that. Norton has his crew bail even though there's barely any water. Yeah, Norton got this strange obsession with bailing water. I don't know. He really wants to go fast, so if there's like just a tiny little bit of water, he has his crew, which is the person in the front of the boat, because these are two-person boats, he has them bail. Even though it doesn't really do much unless you have shitloads of water inside. And you might think, well, of course you want to bail, you don't want to sink. You can't really sink on those. What you can do is you'll do what's called submarining, where you'll fill the thing with water, and then you can't really bail it out, because the way it'll hit against the waves or whatever. You'll keep bailing, but too much water will come in. And like I said, you won't sink unless something punctures the air tanks. But, yeah. You can capsize, though, and that happens very often. And actually, when you submarine, sometimes you might want to intentionally capsize, just to clear out all the water. Is that the lake in the clouds over there? I thought we would reach the peninsula first. I thought the lake in the clouds was after the peninsula, but I must be wrong. That looks like it might be the lake in the clouds. Huh. Alright, well, let's get closer. Okay, these people, I'll try and remember to change their name. What do I want to change their name to? We'll call them Zeus, which is the older brother, and Hades, which is the younger brother. Hades might be female. Don't think Hades is a female, and I certainly know they're not brothers, but hey, I'm just trying to whip Greek names out of my ass. Zeus, he has this fucking Arizona iced tea baler, because, no, that's not the lake in the clouds, by the way, because usually you don't have like a bucket or anything, but you make buckets, and you make balers out of, usually like laundry detergent containers. He has this Arizona iced tea one, and he's always fucking carrying it around. But hey, if he wants to bail, he can bail. Then Hades high-fives someone. Yes, Hades has this strange thing of constantly high-fiving people or doing handshakes or doing some fucking thing. I don't know. Hades is doing all sorts of stuff. Norton uses the bathroom. Yes, constantly. Every fucking time he has to use the bathroom. There was one time where we were actually out there sailing and he had to use the bathroom. And they switched a couple of us around because Norton wasn't there. And they were kind of low on options of what to do. It really sucks because obviously around this time of year we have to wear dry suits. So it really sucks if he has to use the bathroom and he's got his dry suit on. What does that say? Master caution. What's the difference? Oh, one's a warning, one's caution. Okay. Look at that. I'm gonna have to pay attention to when I get closer to the peninsula. Because actually, because this peninsula is a lot less sudden than the other one is, although I think that's the peninsula right there. We'll be up to it any moment now. Somebody capsizes, obviously, then somebody hits someone else, although that happens almost every practice, so that's basically a free space. So there, that's bingo. Then the next note is titled Story Titles, and this is basically, I was watching Would I Lie to You, alright, and even though I'm not British, not a comedian, and I'm not famous. I was like, God, what would I do if I was on Would I Lie to You? Because basically it's a show where you come up with stories and people have to determine whether or not you're lying about the story or whether the story's true. So I've just kind of grabbed a bunch of different story titles that I would use if I was on Would I Lie to You. Except some of these wouldn't be too insane if I was a British comedian, but they're kind of insane for being some teenager from the United States. So, I guess there's something. I once caused a charity to get kicked out of a developmentally disabled individual's work and therapy facility on Woodward in Detroit on the 4th of July. Oh boy, where do I start with this one? Okay. First of all, this is in Detroit. You know, that lovely city. The only reason I included Detroit and Woodward was just because I could. And, you know, it's already strange enough to get people kicked out of a developmentally care facility, whatever you want to call it. But it's another thing if it's in Detroit. Yeah, it was for an organization that will not be named, and essentially they take in people with Down syndrome or other mental illnesses, and I don't like using this term because it's a very old-fashioned term, but I know more people will recognize what I'm trying to talk about if I use this term. They essentially take in retarded people, and they help them out. And while I was working with a charity, and I caused the charity to get kicked out because they were doing a 4th of July party thing for them all. And my existence, my being there, got them kicked out. What it essentially was, and they said that they kicked us out because I was taking pictures, which was just completely fucking false. And even if I was, that wouldn't be an issue, but I guess they thought I was taking pictures of the consumers. But what it really was is my mother had worked there, okay, and she pissed some people off, but they couldn't fire her because it wasn't anything that she was at fault for. What are you bitching at me about my landing gear? Oh, did I accidentally turn the flaps on? Oh shit. My flaps have been on that entire time. Wait, is that flaps off or on? Wait, which way do you want your flaps to be? So hang on. This airspeed is super low, and then this airspeed goes higher. Okay, I've had my flaps on the entire time. Good going, dumbass. No, so my mom had worked there, she pissed some people off. She didn't get fired because they couldn't fire her, so they pulled one of those "we're gonna lay you off" things, except it was kind of a bullshit reason to lay her off. Well, she knew the charity people there, and she was dating the guy who ran the charity, and I have a whole bunch of fucking stories with them that I could tell at another point. But we're not gonna get into those right now. And well, I decided to do some charity work. Now, she had some restraint, and she didn't show up to do the charity work, but I did. And the kind of manager of the facility saw me, and I clearly pissed her off by being there, and she kicked us all out. Yeah, that was fun. Not going to get into too many details of what happened after the fact, because that was a bit of a mess, but yeah. Next! I once built a device to dump water onto my bed by pulling a string. That one I have as a YouTube video. You can go watch it. It's called Making My Life Easier in Stupid Ways. Next! I once aided in the rescue of several baby raccoons. Alright, so that one. So I was with my buddy, okay? In my town, we hold this kind of festival every year, which I can't really say the name of the festival because it, in a sense, reveals where I live. What have I done? No, go back this camera, please. Thank you. But yeah, we have this festival every year. And well, we were riding our bikes there. We wanted to go to the festival. And these people, they flagged us down on the side of the road, and they were like, hey, we have to go somewhere. We got, I don't remember what it was, but they had something urgent to do. And they're like, can you look over these sorry, I'm having a stroke. Can you look over these, or look after these baby raccoons we found and call animal control? And I was like, okay. And I was sitting there, I don't know what the fuck to do with baby raccoons. I'm not a Disney princess. No, I just like, what do I do now? So we stood there and we called animal control, and then one of the people who lived in the nearby houses came out and they were like, oh, is it the raccoons? And I'm like, yeah, there's no mother, there's some baby raccoons. I guess they found them in the middle of the road. And they're like, oh, that's not good. Like, no, it's not. Uh-oh. I thought the game had frozen there. No, we're good. Like, so what should we do? I was like, we called animal control, and animal control just didn't answer. They were just, you know, not even there. Is that the river I'm looking for? I want to pull open the flight map, but that's against the rules. No, that is the river I'm looking for. Shoot. Alright, so that's Houghton. Houghton and Hancock is over there. And then I don't know if there's anywhere else I really want to go. I mean, I could head to the tip of the peninsula, but I think it'll be fine. Gay is somewhere in that direction. There's just a town called Gay, and they've got kind of a tavern called the Gay Bar. But yeah, it's over in that direction. We won't worry about Gay right now. I'm just more curious about Houghton and Hancock. Funny story about this place. So somewhere around here there's a dredge, which is like, I don't know what it does, but it's some water mining thing. And I saw, because we were driving through here and I was looking at the dredge, and my dad was telling me, it was like, yeah, years ago I went out and looked inside that abandoned dredge, but you're not supposed to go in there. And well, I was on Reddit, and on abandoned porn there was, which isn't anything pornographic. I know it's Reddit, so that might be the first thing that goes to your head, but no, it's just a place where people post abandoned things. There was a picture of the interior of a dredge, and it was just said Michigan. I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I commented, I'm like, this isn't by any chance the dredge in Houghton, Michigan. Sure enough, it was. It's the same fucking dredge I had seen. Sorry, how did I start on that spiel? I don't even remember. Okay. This looks like Houghton and Hancock. It might not be. This might be some other random city. But I think this is it. Which would mean the dredge is somewhere around here, except it probably won't be pictured. I doubt Microsoft Flight Simulator would do a very good job at rendering a dredge. That right there. I don't know what that is. What's that? Alright, that looks like it would be a... You know what? I don't know what that is, but it's strange. Maybe that's where the dredge is, right there. I don't know. Oh, this is looking like it. I'd be able to tell if the area had photogrammetry, but it doesn't. Alright, let's slow down slightly. I want to take a real close look at this place. Is there a big mine on top of that hill? No. No, this is it. Alright, so welcome to Houghton and Hancock. It looks a lot nicer in person. But you can see, like, if we get really low... That's not what the bridge looks like. But if we get really low... Well, they've improved bridges. Interesting. You know, you can see how it kind of goes up the mountain on both sides. Ooh. Yeah, it's a real neat town. And I want to take a thumbnail here. There's also like 2 universities in this town, despite the fact that it's so small. Yeah, this is it. Then I can show you where I stayed in a hotel around here. Pull up, pull up. There's also a dam down the river. I mean, I could try and find the dam first. Let's go look for the dam. Oh, I know that place too. I went geocaching around here somewhere. Believe. I don't think the dam's on this river. It's on like another river somewhere. Well, I'm pretty sure I can find it by following this road. Where would the dam be? I'm thinking. I'm trying to find a dam. It's a fuck ugly dam, too. It's like... it looks like it's made out of scrap metal, but it was made in, like, the early 1900s, so... I guess it's not that bad. I think it's over there. Over at that river. Or is there a river over there, too? Oh, shoot. There's a river over there as well. All right. We'll go to this river first, and then we'll look at the other one. So, I love how, like, these podcasts make me look like I got an attention deficit, because I'm constantly switching between subjects. It's really tempting. All right, where's the anti-ice? Oh, hang on. Where's STD? Now I have gonorrhea. No. Selected hand. What the fuck? Alright, is this a river? No, that's a road. Is that a road? Yeah, that's a road. Shoot. Alright. Well, well, there's a river around here somewhere, and it's got a dam. That's all I know. Oh, this must be it. Yeah, this is it. We'll find the dam in a moment. Alright, let's try and find the anti-ice button. Maybe it's up here. Storm clear? What the fuck? Clear storm what? Identify. Start. What do these buttons do? Oh my god. Identify. Well, identify what? Oh my god. I don't know anymore. Alright, where's this dam? It's right here. They might not have pictured it very well. Oh yeah, it's right there. You can kinda see it. You can see how... Active pause. Active pause! I pressed active pause! Shoot. P. What's the button for... I thought P was the button for active... Well, this is drone camera. What's active pause? F1? Oh, it's not F1. F1 just stalled the plane. Alright, as long as the power's still on, we're good. F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, F11, 12. That just took a screenshot. That's not what I wanted. I don't know. But yeah, there's the dam. Built out of scrap metal. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. You can kind of see it. Pretty ugly dam. Alright, let's not crash into some poor village. Let's head back up to Houghton so I can show you where I stayed. Yeah. We still need to try and find the anti-icing button. Landing gear. No. Oh, I put up the flaps somehow. Didn't mean to do that. We're not installing. Alright. Look at these. Synchronize to current heading. STD. Yeah. I'm sure that's fine. Incorrect altimeter set. Fine, I'll fix that then. There we go. Are we any closer to Hancock and Houghton? Pull up slightly. We'll find increased vertical speed. Oh, Jesus. Who knew there would be so many buttons on an airplane? Turn nav, turn flight director. Bank? What does bank do? This isn't the weakest link. Gauge autopilot, turn yaw. What in the name of? Turn altitude hold mode, vertical speed mode. None of those are fix the ice issue. Alright, what are these? Timers? Oh, start. I can start a timer? Why not? Our plane has a timer going now. Stop the timer. I don't need a timer. Home? What else do you have? Nav source. Nav 1, Nav 2. FMS. That's the same screen. Go down, go down, go down. Alright, what's this button? Oh, that's for these, except I can use a touch screen, so I don't need those. Okay, we need a thumbnail, even though... Oop, that's right. Oh, can't do that. Even though I don't have the active pause on. It's just not working for some reason. Insert, pull up. Good enough right there. There, that's the thumbnail. And go away. Alright, let's try and find the lake in the clouds. I can also show you my hotel. Ooh boy. I'm not showing you my hotel from that camera, I'll tell you that much. It was somewhere around here. I think it was this one right here. I'm just about to fly over my hotel. Yeah, that was the hotel. Jesus, this area looks fuck ugly with the AI generated stuff. Wow, that's surprisingly bad. Okay, let's find some waterfalls and stuff. Oh, I'm looking at the ceiling. Or, yeah, no, that was still the ceiling. Okay. Maybe it's down here. Windshield. What does this button say? Ice light? Turn on wing ice light. De-ice! Found it! Excessive airspeed? Oh, how did that happen? Some dumbass crashed into the ground. There we go. Am I still heading in the right? Yep, I'm heading in the right direction. Alright, is it getting rid of the ice now? No. Turn propeller de-ice on. Airframe de-ice, prop de-ice. Alright, so now I'm getting rid of ice on that as well. Oh, you better pull up, and we're dead. Oh. But I had collisions on, by the way. It should have booted me out of the game there. That would have sucked, too, because I just found the ice button. Is that a rainbow? No, that's not a rainbow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this game had rainbows. Why am I heading east? I want to be heading west. Okay, now I've managed to find myself just directly inland, which isn't what I wanted either. Huh. Alright, well, it looks like Lake Superior is to the west, so we'll just head over there. What's next on our notes? I was once caught talking to myself while sitting on a giant inflatable duck by my neighbor. Okay. So... No, we're not going to talk about that one. I once caused someone who I will not name... Well, we need to give him a nickname. We'll call him... what's a good nickname for him? We'll call him... Michael. Yes, he's Michael now. Not Norton, because I accidentally said Norton's name out loud, so now this guy is Michael instead. So, this guy Michael, alright, I didn't know him too well, because he's a grade ahead of me, but I had gym with him. Our school suggested that we do gym and health our first year of high school, just to get it done with. That way we don't have to do it another year. Well, this guy didn't take that advice and he did it his sophomore year. Now, I'm a sarcastic asshole. And I feel like most people know that. Most people don't have a serious issue with that, except, well, they might, but they don't vocalize that they have an issue with that. But this guy very clearly did, and anytime I said or did anything, it clearly just rubbed this guy the wrong way. Oh, where do I start? Well, one day, because, I mean, this is a boys' locker room we're talking about here. We like to fuck about in it. sing sea shanties, you know, the usual stuff. Well, I found a loose bolt on his locker, and I was just unscrewing the bolt. Like, oh, what's this bolt about? And he just went ballistic. He's, don't touch the fucking bolt. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he went vicious. This is peaceful Michael over here. I didn't expect Michael to get so vicious, but no, he was off the fucking wall about this bolt. And I'm like, oh. Like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, why not? Why don't you want me to just don't touch the bolt? I'm not having a good day today. I'm like, he shouldn't be offended by the bolt. It's the school's bolt. He's only gonna have that locker for 1 semester. So I asked him, because clearly, you know, he wasn't doing too good that day. He went ballistic just over a bolt. So I asked him, I was like, hey, Michael, are you feeling all right today? Are you doing good? You don't seem to be in the best mood. And next thing I know, he gets fucking ballistic. Okay, and he tries to pin me up against the wall. Now, mind you, he's taller than me and he's bigger than me, but he's about the fucking circumference of a stick. So, so I very easily kind of pushed him off of me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, don't say that ever again. I'm like, what, the bolt? And he's like, no. And I'm like, but what? And he just went fucking ballistic. I'm like, so I just sprinted out of the locker room, okay? I wasn't dealing with this guy. And I ran out into the gymnasium. And I'm like, because I had a friend that, well, he wasn't really a friend, but there was an acquaintance there. We'll call him Lucas. And I went over to Lucas and I was like, God, Michael, I pissed him off. I was unscrewing a bolt. And next thing I know, Michael just fucking full-on sprint out of the locker room in my direction. And you gotta understand, Michael is not the most athletic fella in the world, okay? So when he runs in strides. He makes his hands as straight as possible. You know, you gotta get that aerodynamicness in. He makes his hand as straight as possible. And he just leaping strides as he runs across the gymnasium, and it looks horrifying, but in reality he's not running very fast. But he's running towards me. I'm like, oh shit. So I mean, I'm not taking this very seriously still, so I'm just laughing, and he runs, so I kind of form a bit of a J, and I run sort of towards him, but at an angle, because then he has to turn, and he tries to tackle me. Fortunately, he doesn't know a single thing about tackling people, and he thinks the best way of tackling someone is to aim high, which that ain't it. So he essentially just embraced me in the middle of the gymnasium. So now I'm like, what do I do now? And he wasn't really doing much. He was just trying to get me on the ground, so I figure, fuck it, I'll give him what he wants. So I drop to the ground as fast as possible. I kind of knock him over, the poor guy. And I jump off, and I'm like, what the fuck is your issue? And he's like, dude, don't say that stuff. I'm like, what did I say? Was this about the bolt? Was this about me unscrewing the bolt from his locker? Well, I later found out after the fact that it was me asking him how he was feeling. Because I guess, and don't get me wrong, this is very strange, but at the same time, I kind of understand his reasoning here. I guess his sister had a bully, and this was like a really horrible bully. Like, I mean, I guess it drove his sister to have severe anxiety, and she was extremely self-conscious or whatever. And every time he ran into the bully, he was very, like, manipulative kind of thing. So he would always ask, hey, how you doing? Are you feeling all right? And I guess I really triggered Michael when I asked him if he was feeling all right, because that's what his sister's bully used to say. Yeah, I mean, he's a nice guy, but that was just quite the story, and I'll never forget it. What is going on? Gear unsafe? What? Why is the landing gear up? Why aren't we getting rid of this ice? Airframe de-ice. Ice light. Can't do that. Might as well. Oops, we're upside down. Where am I, by the way? Pretty soon I'm gonna end up in Wisconsin. When the lake starts kind of curving north, that's when I need to head south if I want to go towards Chicago. Could find Belle Isle. Nah, Belle Isle's too far away. I'm not gonna bother with that. Not Belle Isle, Isle Royale. Belle Isle's an island in Detroit. I'm getting them mixed up. What's this lake? Or this river? Somewhere around here there's a river called the Big Iron River. Thought that one was kind of funny. Oh, hang on. I think that might be the lake in the clouds over there. Way over there. I really wish there wasn't so much ice because I want to be flying this from the cockpit, but it's just, I can't see anything right now. Okay, what's next on the list? Ooh, alright, what do I want to call this guy? We'll call this guy... what do I want to cause this guy? Cause this guy? Call this guy. We'll call him Lemon. So Lemon, he FaceTimed me on the toilet. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have just said that one. That one works better if you know who I'm talking about, which you don't. Alright, here's one. I used to know a man who swam out further than the longest pier on the U.S. East Coast while we were on vacation. Okay, so you remember that guy in the charity I was talking about earlier? None. Yeah, we'll ignore that airport. So, that guy who ran the charity, who's also helping out this guy, we'll call him Trevor. And Trevor, I don't know if he had been arrested or what, but Trevor didn't have a very good quality of life. He was bouncing between people's house. And the guy who owned the charity had a friend, we'll call him Zoogaloo. And Zoogaloo, he kind of had this house in the fucking ghetto of Detroit. And he would take in people who had less fortunate lives and let them live with him. And one of those people was Trevor. Except Trevor didn't really like living in Detroit, so Trevor made a deal where he wouldn't live with Zoogaloo anymore, but he would live with the guy who ran the charity. And he lived in his basement. So I knew Zoogaloo for a while. He was a very unique man. I really can't think of many ways to describe him. He was... I can't describe him. He was unique. Well, Trevor, he wanted to go on vacation with us because we were going on vacation down to Myrtle Beach. A couple of us. Me, my mother, and the guy she was dating, the charity guy, and his son, who she's no longer dating anymore. I should probably preface all those with that, but that's not insanely relevant right now. Well, Zoogaloo wanted to go down to Myrtle Beach with us, so my mother offered him. She was like, yeah, if you pay me $500 or something, you can come down to Myrtle Beach. And he agreed to come with us. Well, he didn't really agree. He paid to come with us. The Zoogaloo was down there with us. And you gotta understand, at Myrtle Beach, there's a whole bunch of piers, but there's one pier in particular, which is the longest pier on the U.S. East Coast. And, well, Trevor, I might have been calling Trevor Zoogaloo for a little bit there. Pretend I wasn't calling Trevor Zoogaloo. But, Trevor, he swam out further than this fucking pier. And the lifeguards pulled him in. He was telling us his story. We were talking with the lifeguard, too. Yeah, I guess he thought it was all right. He thought he was fine. But had it not been for the lifeguards going out there with a boat to pull him back in, there's no way he was getting back there. You can't swim back that far. He was completely fucking oblivious to the issue with that. That's what must happen when you live in Detroit most of your life. That and Pontiac, you know. He gets used to the city life, doesn't realize the dangers of swimming out fucking like a mile. Not a mile, maybe like a kilometer, but still, that's a long way to be swimming out. Yeah, it was fun. What else? What's next on my list? Oh, and he ended up kind of ditching the place. He left all of his shit there, didn't pay a couple months of rent, and ran off with his sister. He was adopted, but he had just found his sister, which was a big thing for him. And then he ran off with her. I'm assuming it wasn't romantic, but fucking knowing Trevor, it could have been. What's next? No, we're not going to talk about that one. I once started a very small kitchen fire. Not much I have to say there. I dropped some dry pasta, on the burner, started a fire, grabbed the tongs, threw it in the sink. I have been threatened with a lawsuit. Ooh, that's a good one. Alright, so if you go on my channel and you search by my most popular videos, you will see a video called The Tissue Song. We're ignoring that one. That one only became my most popular video in the last year, despite the fact that it's like 4 years old. But shh. The second most popular video, which was my most popular video for a lot longer, is a video called Text Prank on Best Friend Jacob Sartorius. Now that was a little trend going around at the time, which it was a pretty stupid trend, let's be real here. Saying that, it happened again with, what's the song called? Break My Stride. Yeah, a very similar thing happened earlier this year with Break My Stride. But yeah, I did the Jacob Sartorius one. This isn't about him, I'm just using that as an example. Well, I did one on one of my other friends at the time. It was I know what song it was. It was a fucking Jacksepticeye song. And it was like a remix, and he was going all the way or something, and I thought that would be funny to prank her with. So I did it, and she was completely oblivious. Now, mind you, her name was nowhere in this video. There was no reason to suspect it was her. But she asked me very nicely, hey, don't upload that. And I was like, okay. So I didn't upload that because I was a good friend. She was a lying bitch. Sorry, I shouldn't be that blunt. But really, there's only like 4 people I hate in my school, and she was one of them. And yeah, she just lied, and we weren't friends very much after that. She pissed me off. She turned a lot of people against me. It was fun, so I figured to get a little bit of petty revenge, I would upload the video that I promised not to upload. And what does any reasonable person do? Maybe yell at me, maybe tell me to delete it, maybe even if they're feeling extreme, go to the counselor. No, she went to her mom, and she had her mom threaten to file a lawsuit against us. Because that's what any normal person would do. Mind you, I later found out that her mom's an anti-vaxxer, very religious, you know, just a tad cuckoo. Let's just put it that way. So it doesn't surprise me very much anymore that she threatened me with a lawsuit. Also, that might have been the lake in the clouds over there. I might have just zoomed straight past it. Yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. And that video, I deleted it because I'm good. Although I probably could have stayed it up. There's no way they would have been able to sue us. Mainly because there was no proof it was her. There was no proof it was her daughter, you know. It was just some random text prank. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the other 3 people I hate? Because I don't hate very many people. I think hate's a very strong word. I don't even dislike very many people. I'm heading south now, by the way, because I think I missed the lake in the clouds, and the Lake Superior starting to curve north, so I might as well just head south towards Chicago. I think I do a very good job at ignoring people's flaws, which is part of the reason why I don't hate very many people. That's a good quality to have. Because I mean, if you think about yourself and you think of all your flaws, you know, you might go, oh, but I shouldn't be judged by my flaws. I should be judged by how I'm good. Yeah, but people are going to judge you by your flaws, and I try and aim not to be one of those people. But usually I don't have any serious issues with people, and the 4 people I do hate have all wronged me in some way. Like, obviously, there is the lawsuit. There is another one who emailed his mother saying he wanted to see me dead. And the police got called and he got sent to therapy. So he's number 2. Number 3 is the only one who hasn't personally wronged me, but he's just a manipulative asshat, so I'm not going to get into him. And then number 4 broke into my house. Do we want to talk about number 4? Let's talk about number 4. This was earlier this year, actually. This was in September. So, number 4. Oh boy, where do I start? So it was the night before the first day of school, actually. It was Sunday night. I had an online first day of school because the way they're doing it this year is they're doing it 50-50. Half the class, they have half the class in what they call the red group and half the class is the gray group. And the red group goes in Monday, Tuesday, every other Wednesday. Gray group goes in Thursday, Friday, every other Wednesday. And if it's not your in-person day at school, you watch it live. They're essentially live streaming the classes, and honestly, I think that's a really good compromise. So I didn't complain too much about that. But yeah, it was my first day of school. First day in general, and it was online because I'm gray group. Well, we were sitting there. I was taking a shower. My mom was in her bedroom. And someone buzzes our condo. So I'm like, okay, well, I was in the bathroom, so I wasn't saying anything. I was oblivious, by the way. Someone buzzes my condo. So my mom's like, all right. So she goes downstairs. She opens the door. No, she doesn't open the door. Because she doesn't like to just buzz people in. She wants to check to see who it is, you know. Make sure it's nothing insane. So she goes downstairs. She looks out the door. She sees it's a kid in his bathing suit. Kid as in like teenager, not young kid. And we live right near the pool, so it wouldn't be insane for him to be in his bathing suit. So she was like, oh no, maybe he needs help. So she still just kind of cracks the door open. She's like, can I help you? Are you okay? This fucker barges straight past through her, runs up the door into our condo, runs up the stairs, I should say, into our condo, opens the door, locks it. I'm in the shower, oblivious. My mother in the fucking hallway, thinking, oh my god, this guy just locked himself in our condo. Now, I cannot imagine what was going through my mother's head at this point. She must have been fucking freaking out. So I guess what happened was she knocked on her neighbor's door. It's like, call 911. She's knocking on our door. My dog's going ballistic. God knows what happened. I'm in the shower. Just don't have a clue what's going on. Mom pounding on the door. Son saying, let me in. Neighbor calls 911. Me shampooing up, I don't know. Dog's going ballistic. So they call 911, pounding, standing out in the hallway. Not much unique happens. Finally, the guy opens the door. And holding our dog, buddy, love him, but he was completely fine. Didn't see any issue with this random guy. Well, I guess he was barking at first, but at this point, he didn't see any issue with this random guy being in our condo. So yeah, my mom's like, what the fuck are you doing with our dog? What are you doing in our condo? It's at this moment that I exit the shower. Because I had heard some stuff going on, but I wasn't sure what it was. I wasn't sure if my mom had invited someone over. I didn't know, so I walk out. In my pajamas, I see this guy kind of standing in our doorway. My mother and my neighbor out in the hall. He's holding the dog. My mother's yelling at him. She goes, Jacob, get in the bathroom. I'm like, I'll be fine. Because this is the type of person that I am. I wasn't very scared. I'm dead serious when I say that. I was more astonished by the situation I had somehow managed to get wrapped into more than anything else. Well, pretty soon after I got out of the shower, police come up the stairs. They tackle him. They're starting to ask him questions. This guy is high as shit. Now, my assumption is that it was PCP, just because he clearly didn't know where he was, didn't know what he was doing, and he was in his bathing suit with no shirt on and shit. So he was probably hot and sweaty. So, PCP, my assumption. Well, I guess what happened is he thought he had lived there. So he ran into our place because he thought that's where he lived, even though he lived in another city over. Now that wasn't the end of the story, because the story keeps going on. My mother mentally scarred at this point. I'm sure she's doing fine. I feel kind of sorry for her. Like I said, I can't imagine what was going through her head, because she didn't know what was going on with me. Obviously, I was just taking a shower, oblivious. But anything could have been happening to me. I could have been being beat up. Who knows? I don't think I would have been beat up. I probably would have been fine. Because, like I said, the guy's a teenager, and he was only probably 2 years older than me. Which is still a lot, but probably would have been fine. But the story doesn't end here, because the police called her. You never guess where he goes? He goes to my high school. Uh-oh. Now, I didn't know this guy, because like I said, 2 years ahead of me. But, yeah, I go to high school with him. So, it's at this point where I'm like, oh, no. So, I wasn't sure who it was. So I was texting some of my friends. Now, we knew his last name started with a B, but we didn't know who it was. Now, the way they have the two groups set up is they have red group being A through M, and they have B group, or gray group, being N through Z. That's not the letters, but you get the idea. So I would be in gray group, he would be in red group. I'm still curious, does he actually go to the school? So I was texting someone I know, a friend of mine, in his grade, in the red group. I was like, hey, I'm not going to give you much context, but can you promise that you won't tell anyone about this? And she's like, okay. She clearly a little confused or concerned. I was like, so, do you know if so-and-so has been in school lately? She's like, I haven't seen him. And this is clearly a sketchy guy, so God knows what she thinks about me. She's like, what the fuck is Jacob getting himself wrapped into? I still didn't give her any context. I should probably give her context at some point. She might think I'm a druggie. But yeah, I did find out it was him. He still goes to the school. So that's fun. He got charged with breaking and entering without owner's consent. That's fun. Although I think that's a bit of an oxymoron, because I'm pretty sure breaking and entering implies that there was no owner consent. Yeah, that's the last guy I hate. Fun story there. What's next? While at a VFW hall for a robotics event, I was spotted by someone who moved into my old house. They found a gift card addressed to me, Googled my name, and then recognized my face months later. So yeah, so my aunt, who lives in Colorado, had sent me a gift card, but I guess the first time she had the address wrong, so she sent it to our old house. But it was addressed to me. So these people who had moved into my old house, they saw my name. They then Googled me. Now, I'm not quite sure how they found pictures of me, because this was back in February. So the only thing I could think that has my face and my name attached to it is that I won a writing competition. So if you Google my name, you might be able to find the writing competition. Now, if you Google my name, you just find my YouTube channel, because I started showing my face and I started tagging my videos with my name. You also find my book. So, in fact, let's Google it. Let's Google Jacob V2FATW and see what the first thing to come up is. Uh-oh! Fix the plane. There we go. Jacob V2FATW. First one, The Many Creations of Jacob V2FATW. Yep, that's my book. Second one is Facebook profiles that aren't mine. Then there's my YouTube channel, and there's Ancestry.com, then there's some other stuff. So yeah, now it's just the book. I'm sure if you did some digging, you could find the writing competition pictures. Please don't do that. But I'm assuming that's how they found me. Even better is, because I wasn't the only winner. It was me and this one girl. We were both at the VFW robotics event. It's only a couple of us. There were only like 7 people there, but me and the girl who won the writing competition were 2 of the 7 there. But yeah, I guess they had gone into the VFW hall. Well, so what it essentially was is it was a city-wide event. We were just in the VFW hall advertising our robotics team. Well, they were in the VFW hall, and she looked at me, and she's like, "Are you Jacob Vasicek?" And everyone, and all my robotics friends are looking at me like, "What the fuck? Do you know this woman?" And I'm like, "Yes." I didn't know this woman, but I was like, "Yes." And she goes, "Oh, we have a gift card for you." And then she went on the whole spiel about how she moved into her house and how she Googled my name. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, "Do you want me to give you my current address so you can mail it?" She's like, no, we'll come back and we'll give it to you. Like, okay. So that was an interesting story. Definitely didn't expect that to be happening. I can say I've been recognized in public because of the internet now. It's kind of a bit of an exaggeration, but hey, it happened. Yeah, that was an interesting one. What's next on my list of stories? Oh, we're skipping that one. I've personally designed several of the t-shirts that I wear. True. I am an ordained minister. That one is just, a lot of people can do that. You want to be an ordained minister? You want to officiate a wedding? Go on down to the, what is it called? Sacred Life Church or something like that. Fill out a form and boom, poof, you'll be a minister. And you can officiate a wedding. Genuinely, I'm dead serious. I can't officiate a wedding because there's no age requirement to be an ordained minister, there isn't an age requirement to officiate a wedding, with the exception of in, I believe, Wyoming and Washington. So in Wyoming and Washington, I can officiate a wedding right now, but everywhere else, I have to wait until I turn 18 before I can officiate a wedding. You know, fun stuff. I once created a shortcut on my phone that would slowly text people different copy pastas line by line. Copy pastas such as an inside joke and the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, not much else I have to say about that. There's the shortcut app for iPhones, so I programmed one to text people different things line by line so their phones would be going off, and I did that in class once. And I was doing the Declaration of Independence, and I was looking over at my friend, and his phone was buzzing. He wasn't checking it. He was like, "What the fuck?" And finally he looked at it, and he saw all the lines from the Declaration of Independence, and he looked back up at me, and he's like, "What are you doing, man?" It's like, it's the Declaration of Independence. Now, because I didn't have to do anything. The shortcut did it all for me. That's just about a car accident I was in. I once had to dig through a dumpster to find parts from a computer. That was just a bit of like a USB thing. I didn't really dig through the dumpster. That's the one that's kind of exaggerated. And that's it for story titles. See, I told you some of my notes would take up a reasonable amount of time in the podcast. Next is a note called songs. We're not going to go into that one. There's one. Mat sounds, no. Passwords, no. This one's just going over my top 10 games of all time. I guess I can read that off. I don't think this has changed since I last did my list, because I do it at the end of the year usually. But it's Fallout 4, Red Dead 2, Gary's Mod, Grand Theft Auto 5, Animal Crossing, New Horizons. That one's changed. It used to be New Leaf. The Sims 3 and 4, I've got them up there as equals, except I'm going to remove 4 actually, because 4 doesn't belong on there after all the shit they've pulled. City Skylines, Euro Truck Simulator 2, and American Truck Simulator are treated as equals, and Minecraft, and then Fallout New Vegas and 3 are treated as equals. So that's the top 10. Those are my personal favorite. Those aren't the games I think are the best. Otherwise, Fallout 4 definitely wouldn't be on there. But those are my personal favorite games to play. Those are ones I enjoy playing. Let me drink some water real quick. And then I have a list of the top 10 games I think are the best. I think these are the best made games. So they're not necessarily my personal favorite. Obviously, it's still my opinion, but they're games I think should They're critically the best. Let's put it that way. Number 1 is Return of the Obra Dinn. I shouldn't have to go into very many details there. Number 2 is Portal 2. That's not right. Number 2 is Portal 1. Sorry. Number 3 is Papers, Please. Now, those 3 games, Obra Dinn, Portal 1, and Papers, Please, I consider those to be perfect. They have nearly no flaws. So that's why they're so high up there. Then we have Minecraft. Then we have GTA 5 Story Mode. Have to preface that a lot. Not the online. The online is a scammy, scummy, just not good. Then we have Half-Life 1 / Black Mesa. That's a weird thing because Black Mesa is very clearly better than Half-Life 1, but Half-Life 1 is where the design and everything comes from. So I'm not quite sure how I meant to classify that one. Then we have Red Dead 2. Then we have Portal 2. I'm starting to think Red Dead 2 should be higher than GTA 5. Yeah, I'm going to put Red Dead 2 higher up there. So Red Dead 2 is actually number 5, and then everything else gets scooted down 1. Then we have Little Inferno. That's a weird one, but I just thought that was a really well-made game. And then it's Fallout New Vegas. Because Fallout 4 doesn't deserve to be on that list. Neither does Fallout 3, even though I enjoy it. And then I have my list of the top games for this year, which I'm not going to spoil. Haha, you're going to have to wait until the end of the year. Next is... That's notes for Satisfactory. So I know how much my different factories are producing. Then I have... Ooh, okay, so I have a couple scripts for YouTube channel that I haven't made yet. It's just going to be my name. It's just going to be Jacob Vaschek. It's going to be like political or mentality analysis type videos. It's a serious thing. I know, it's a crazy concept for me, but I'm going to be serious for once. But I just haven't made it yet. But I got some scripts for it, but I'm going to save those. I'm not going to read those out for you. I feel like ending the stream, but I don't see any airports nearby. So where is the nearest airport? There's one to the east of me. Where am I right now? I'm heading down. Oh, I need to head southeast. Shoot, I'm way more central than I thought I would be. Alright, well, I'm in Wisconsin now, that's for sure. Okay, well, as much as I want to head southeast, the nearest airport is to the southwest. Actually, there's this. What is that? I don't know. That's the nearest air traffic space, I should say. Actually, what's this place? KAUW. Screw it. Route me there. How far away is that? I can make it there. Yeah, that'll be my goal for the end of the stream. I think that's Minneapolis, maybe. There's Minneapolis along... No, I think this is Minneapolis. Oh, we just need to hold that direction. So just keep going pretty much directly southeast. That should be good. What's next? I was talking about the scripts. And I have a list of funny moments for my videos for when I have to make a compilation. Fun stories. Alright, fun stories is my dreams. Because every now and again I'll track down, if I have a somewhat vivid dream, I'll put it down. Oh, I'm not over speed. Shut up. Fine, I'll pull up so I'm not below the limit. Do you want to hear about my dreams? Let's talk about my dreams. We were at a car customs shop. Think Los Santos Customs from GTA. Imagine if my local Kroger, I'm kind of tweaking this to make more sense for you guys. Imagine if my local Kroger was replaced with a giant hill, and at the top of the hill was the custom shop. Well, both my father and my mom were getting their cars customized. I was also getting my car customized, even though I don't own a car. Well, my dad has to leave for some reason, even though his car was still in the process of being customized, and as I said bye, I noticed piles of loose, raw pot all over his center console. Doesn't make much sense. This is my father we're talking about here, but whatever. I didn't say anything, and as he drove away, he almost immediately got pulled over on a street I will not name, but it's nearby my local Kroger's. I rushed to my mother to tell her what happened. She somehow had some background information on why he had weed in the car. So I ran down the hill to where he had been pulled over. And when we got there, I saw a random Muslim woman, which I later realized was the Syrian mom from the Lindsay Lohan video, which she almost kidnapped the kids of. That's a strange reference. Look up Lindsay Lohan kidnapped Syrian kids and you'll find what I'm talking about. And as I got there, the police told me my dad, he was free to go. My mother was just about to tell me what happened as we walked north down the center of the street that I will not name. So yeah, very confusing story, but like I said, it's a dream. Maybe we got some symbolic stuff there with my dad having the weed and me not understanding why my dad has the weed. Don't know what it's symbolic of, but I'm sure it's symbolic of something. Next story. We went on a field trip, kind of like DC, because I went on a field trip to DC with school back in middle school. However, we went to like Hogwarts or something. Basically, while we were still on the... I'm getting a phone call. That's fun. Well, I'll keep driving to, or flying to Minneapolis while I put on the intermission screen and answer the phone. Well, that's fun. I answered, but she didn't... I don't know if it was an issue with her phone or what, but she didn't have anything to say. Alright, let's skip the Hogwarts one, because that's not very interesting. Alright, so mind you, for context with this next stream, I have a dog named Buddy. Apparently, before we got Buddy, we briefly had another Shih Tzu, but this one was a blonde color. We sent it back. Wow, nice phrasing from Tired Jacob. We sent it back. What the fuck are we gonna send it back to? The womb? No, we sent the Shih Tzu back for some reason. Well, one day I just stumbled across what I assumed to be the previous Shih Tzu. I had thoughts that, of course, it was a different Shih Tzu than the original. However, I continued to say and act as if this was the original Shih Tzu. However, sorry. At one point, both Buddy and the original Shih Tzu escaped, and I had to chase after them. I was devastated that they escaped, and I had to chase after them. Sorry, no. I was devastated that they escaped while my father was assuring me they would be fine. Sorry, where am I going with this plane? I'm heading in the wrong direction. I was chasing after them in the area behind the high school as well. That's my local high school. Like where the baseball diamonds and tennis courts are. Yeah. Let's just quit reading out my dreams. They're not very interesting, and considering I wrote these right as I woke up and I was tired as shit, they're not very well written and have grammar that Weird Al Yankovic would shame. What's next? Video ideas. Not reading those out. That's another essay. That's another essay. That's another essay. That's another essay. That's a list of funny things that happened with Nerdcube, Many a True Nerd, and Matt. That's a quote from a thing. That's some notes about GTA 5. That's my favorite videos. My favorite villagers in Animal Crossing. Peanut, Cyrano, Bob, Cherry, Eugene, Lucky, Diana, Vesta, Fauna, Scoot. Those are in order, by the way, of who are my favorite. Wow Sow Downtown. Maybe this isn't Minneapolis, because I've never heard of that town before. Hang on, let's find it on map. Wow Sow, Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't know what that place is. Wait, Minneapolis? Minneapolis is in Minnesota. Oh, I'm being a dumbass. Great going, me. Oh, is there another airport? Benders. Alright, do I want to land at Wow Sow Downtown or Benders? Let's land at Wow Sow Downtown. No, Minneapolis is in Minnesota. I was being a bit of a dumbass. The one in Wisconsin is Milwaukee. This is some other city. Tune into Minneapolis. Well, that's not what I want. Slow the plane down, by the way. I want Wow Sow Downtown. Probably butchering the name of this town. I want traffic. Select runway for landing. Runway 5. I'm sure I'll find it. Announce full stop landing. Announce position. This is quite the final I'm on. But, it'll work. Alright, we gotta slow this down real far, real fast. Nice subdivision you got down there. Sorry, I'm just commenting on the road layout. Yeah, going to first person. I can't see shit. Going to third person. Announce on final. And we are landing. In fact, I might be landing a tad too quickly. Speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up. We're going too fast. We're going too fast. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Yeah, I don't want to crash into some houses. I want to land on the runway. Flying the mist? No, I'm still on final.
Kilo Alpha Uniform Whiskey Traffic, Ghost 427 is on final runway 5 to land.
This is the right runway, right? I might be heading towards the wrong runway looking at it. This runway 5? Oh god, this isn't runway 5, is it? Look, this is a horrible approach. I'm not very good at flying planes, okay? Alright, now just slow it down. No, this is runway 31. Or 21. 31. Shoot. My bad. Alright, never mind. We're landing in the grass! Ooh, we're all dead. We're all dead. Oh, how fun. Nice Tokyo drifting, though. You know what, screw it. Let's just go into the hangar. Let's put this guy in storage for the day. Oh, look at this drifting. Get rid of the flaps, go as fast as possible. Next time I'll remember to turn damage on, so it'll boot me out of the game instead. Alright, where's the hangar? Find this bad boy. Hey, this is the first time landing at an actual airport. No, it's not. We landed at one in the first live stream. And when I say actual airport, I just mean something other than the grass strips. Oh, this isn't where I meant to go. Oh, okay. How fast do you think I can plummet into this place? Only one way to find out. Yeah, just go. Just zoom it. Watch me embed myself into the ground. Go through the earth. Want to go to China. China, this is clearly the fastest way. Bounce. Oh! Alright, no, this is where I'm actually done. Goodbye!